Hey everybody, welcome back to a new episode of D&D Quick Shots. My name is Brandon, and today we're talking about one of my favorite underutilized magic items, the Bag of Beans. Alright, so the Bag of Beans, what is it? Well, first, I'll read the actual description so you'll get a good idea. It's a heavy cloth bag and 3d4 worth of dry beans, so anywhere between 3 and 12 dry beans. Weighs about a half pound plus a quarter pound for each bean. Now, basically, it's a dual purpose. Number one, you dump it out, it makes an explosion and can hurt people, right? So you have this cool little, possibly, defensive item if you need it. The other thing is, it's very similar to the deck of many things that everybody loves, but this is very much in the theme of Jack and the Beanstalk. You never know what's going to happen when you take this bean out and then you plant it. So it can be anything, and as a DM, I like to roll for it just because it can do anything. So you roll a D100, and just to give you an idea of what you may end up with. So you may get a treant that a 50% chance is chaotic evil and attacks. You may get a hungry boulet, which also may attack. You may get a campfire with with blue flames springs forth and burns for 24 hours. So you just may get magic fire. You might get a pyramid with a 60-foot square base bursting upward inside a sarcophagus containing a mummy lord. The pyramid is treated as a mummy lord's lair, and its sarcophagus contains the treasure of the DM's choice. What? There are so many different things. If you roll, the double odd, you get the Jack and the Beanstalk rolling up to whatever height you want. And then you could go to a cloud giant's castle, or any other plane of existence. There's so many things that can happen with this. And if you're not really sure what's going to happen today, you can easily, a player can plant that and surprise things happen. Now, when do you give this out, right? This is not one of those things that are game breaking necessarily, like the deck of many things. The deck of many things can ruin your day. It is definitely, as a DM, one of those things that, unless you really are getting towards the end of a campaign and you're like, okay, let's see if we can figure out a fun way to end this, you kind of want to avoid it. The Bag of Beans, on the other hand, gives you a very similar concept, just at very early low levels. So it's just one of those things that it can be an interesting way to play. Now, these effects that end up happening from it, they have different links and different times and all kinds of things, and it could be an interesting thing as part of a battle situation. You may have a player that takes it and does something with it. It just depends on how your players want to use it. I would give it out. I wouldn't say early on, because like a mummy lord is going to wreck some people. But I would probably say, 5th, 6th level, it might be worth seeing what happens as a DM, since you get to roll for it, or you can have the player roll for it, or choose the differential if you want to do that. It's definitely worth experimenting with it kind of at the lower levels. I wouldn't give it out anything probably when people are still under 40 to 50 HP as a whole, just because whenever that kind of thing happens, it can be super detrimental. But if you get your players that are starting to actually have some health and they're actually getting up there and you want to see what happens, it's a fun way to play. I mean, it's definitely one of those items that confuses a lot of people, but I don't see it played very often. You may see it, 1 out of 100 campaigns. Like, I've never watched an online campaign so far that anybody has used it. So if you want to make a fun session or a fun, interesting setup, just, have them find a single bean in a bag and see what happens from there. They don't necessarily have to have all of them. You can make it a full plot hook. Maybe you already pre-rolled it and you know what's coming and you have it all set up. That's a really fun way to play as well. It's just a random plot hook. It's like, oh yeah, I've heard about Jack and the Beanstalk. Yeah, but did you hear about Jack and the giant pyramid filled with a mummy lord? Nope. Good luck with that one. So again, like and subscribe if you never watched the episode. If this is your first one, definitely give me a comment below. Otherwise, I really appreciate you guys tuning in, and that's my opinion on a bag of beans.